So the second expression of Leo is impact. In the first, we developed self-confidence, but we ended that batch of 5 degrees with the understanding that compared to geological realities, the Earth, the natural domain, we really aren't very much on a physical level. And here in the second 5 degrees of Leo, we get to see that we're not very much in time either. The 6th degree of Leo talks about the old-fashioned woman and the young, up-to-date girl, and indicates that the changing nature of fashion is fast and actually of no great consequence. Neither the young girl or the older woman is concerned, really. The young woman wants to be in the moment, wants to be fashionable and up-to-date and enjoying that. She sees the old woman as past it. But the old woman is just a little bit wiser. She sees that the investment we give to temporary things like fashions, it doesn't pay off, really. It doesn't pay back enough. It's not worth it. Pleasures are rarely worth the price we pay. So the old woman has got this kind of wisdom to replace the vitality of youth, but there's no way a young person would ever give up the vitality of youth in order to have wisdom. So we're all kind of happy with where we are and when we are, and it all is transitory. Now, understanding this, first of all, we perhaps look around to see what might be permanent, or at least less transitory, and we look up. We look to the sky, look at the constellations in the sky. 7th degree of Leo. The permanence suggested by that, it's not really permanent, not in cosmic sense, but as far as we're concerned, it is. We can depend upon the stars to be in the same shape throughout the whole of our lives. You know, from that sense, it's permanent. And we find that there's beauty there. By coincidence, perhaps, or perhaps not. But when we see something which is beautiful like that, we can't touch it. Beauty, it doesn't really respond to touch. If you touch beauty, it kind of diminishes its beauty. Its mystery is a component of its beauty. The stars will ever remain a profound mystery for us because of their distance. We cannot touch them. And when Leo gets to understand this, that the reality, the long-term reality, the cosmic reality of life is that beautiful, it has a sense of balance between the transitory nature of beauty and the permanence of beauty, which is expressed perhaps in the 8th degree, where the Bolshevik is a revolutionary. Somebody wants to change things. Everything is change, and Bolsheviks wants to hurry along that process. It sees the regime of the Tsar as being permanent, all too permanent for its own taste. So we're hurrying along the processes of change. However, it's also the case that we know that whatever was created in the beginning will certainly reach its point of destruction. In other words, creativity is the cause of destruction. Interesting, isn't it? Food for thought. So, as we make our gestures in life, however futile or at least transitory they might be, if we can remember that when we're doing our creative stuff, all we're doing is setting ourselves up for the later destruction of that. And although that sounds rather poignant and disappointing, it's actually quite liberating. It means that we can actually create our artworks, and by that I mean where we go to work, whom we marry, what we do with our garden, how we are with our kids. That's our artwork. We can create all of that the way a glass blower does. Here in Leo 9 we have these skillful artists taking heat and sand and making glass from that. This is what creativity does. It changes our perception of what is possible from adding physical things together. So we have this sense of ability to be more creative because we know that everything will be destroyed. That sounds like an irony or a paradox, but if we think it through, a part of the reason why we're not fully and spontaneously creative is because we concern ourselves with output, not process. We want to get it right. Now, this is a bigger problem, let's say, for Virgo, for example, than it is for Leo. Leo gets to learn that it's not so much the product that counts, it's the process. In other words, being creative is the joy of creativity, not having something beautiful at the end of it, which may or may not happen, but it will only last for a while. It will be destroyed. And that's quite a subtle and profound wisdom. It reminds one of the Tibetan practice of making coloured sand into an amazingly complex and beautiful mandala, which takes days to create. And a team of people do that over days. And it's incredibly skillful, a hugely intense meditation for days. And then at the end of it, they just have a look. Yeah, that's nice, and blow it all away. It doesn't get held. They're teaching themselves that it's the inner sense of developing beauty, which can happen through the process of beautifying, that matters, not the product. And I think the more advanced Leo understands this, that they feel creative. They have this power of creativity associated with the sun and the self-confidence of that. They know how to create new things out of what there is available. And learn to do this all the time, in every moment, since they see that it's all poignant and temporary and illusory almost, and it's the process that matters, not the product. Then they have this ability to make things up moment by moment and treat each day as a new dawn, Leo 10, the early morning dew. Each day is fresh, and it's that vitality that you get if you go out just after dawn and you sort of, you know it's going to be a sunny day and you can see the dew on the grass, and you feel this sense of life re-emerging anew again and again. Life itself is new all of the time. We don't see it that way, most of us, but Leo can. Leo can see every single moment as an exciting opportunity to bring enthusiastic powers of creativity to bear. And they live with that joyful sense of freshness. This is incredibly impactful. This is vitality itself expressing itself through a person. And it emanates, Leos raise the game wherever they go. They bring this additional life force and sense of I can to bear upon any situation.